Meet Mao. He's a bit of a monstrosity. He kind of looks like a Dark Souls boss that has had a French mustache spray painted on. His hands are positioned as if he's holding up Simba on Pride Rock, but in doing that, he accidentally decapitated himself, and then someone stuck his head onto his forearms with glue. His legs somehow are twiggy. Must be a wiry strength. Why is he named Mao? Some say his creator forgot to give him a name before he was made real, but who knows, really. Mao is really in for it. He doesn't have anything except a little bit of cash and a stick that he pretends to know how to use. He's not good at anything. He's completely useless, and he has no idea how or why he exists. That's okay. We can all relate there. He seems to have been plonked down in some decrepit outpost in a barren pastel world. Construction isn't doing so well, but maybe it's a friendly place. He notices that, while he's not hungry now, hunger is possible and could lead to his demise. His twisted body is prone to injury and death. Mao doesn't really have ambitions, but life and its preservation provides purpose. Maybe he can go off on his own and form some kind of farm or compound. That way he can get food and protect himself from injury. He won't be able to do that here, though. Too many weirdos. Mao spends some time scavenging for various goodies in the broken down buildings. Hey, someone left some rice. Score. He tries to see if he can make some friends who might join him on his quest for self-preservation, but they all want a lot of money. And who can blame them? Mao gathers himself and looks at his map of the area that he somehow has. Turns out this place is the hub. Pretty crappy hub. The map shows a lush green river valley off to the north. Maybe he'll go there. Surely no one else has already had that idea. So Mao heads off to the north, carrying his stick and the junk that he found at the hub. It's going to be a long trek, but Mao quickly discovers that his twisted frame makes him good for hauling things at long distances. Must be that low center of gravity. Look at that. It's a bar. Well, that could be nice. The barkeep had some cool things. Too expensive, though. Looks like there's some kind of party up on the roof. These guys look really cool, though they're not very chatty. Oh well, time to get back on the road. Uh-oh. While Mao was daydreaming about the fertile valley to the north, someone called Dust Boss stops him. Dust Boss. Sounds like he could be a vacuum cleaner. And it looks like he's here to suck up whatever money Mao has on him. What to do? It really should have been an easy choice for Mao. He's not fit for combat, and he's no match for this vacuum cleaner gang. Yes, they want a good chunk of his money, but he'd still have some left over. But then something inexplicable happens. Mao has this overwhelming urge to stand up to this injustice. Maybe, having just materialized in this strange world, this was his way of testing whether life here would be worth it in the first place. The decision is made. He even called them pus oozing. What a thrill. He didn't think he had that kind of creativity in him. And apparently it landed, because Dust Boss wasn't happy. And thus began the cartoonish pursuit of Mao by the vacuum bandits. Mao definitely couldn't fight, but he can run, damn it. But while Mao's low center of gravity makes him great for hauling, he's not designed for top speed. At this point, Mao can literally feel Dust Boss's breath on his back. And then, ow! Dust Boss whacks him a few times with whatever the heck weapon he's carrying. Mao is bleeding. A lot. But he can still run, damn it. If he was going to go down, he was going to make sure these Hoover hooligans have to go as far out of their way as possible to get him. Somewhere out there, he thought, someone must be rooting for him. This was reassuring, even if it came with the genesis of a brand new insecurity for Mao. The chase went on. It was looking really bad. But then, out of nowhere, hope. A merchant caravan of some sort was heading towards them. Maybe they can help. But merchants are merchants, and all they see is a desperate customer. And Mao thought, you know what? If I'm going to die, I might as well do some shopping first. And he had a look. A pack beast might be useful. Maybe it could take him to a hospital, if those things exist. Dang it, too expensive. But then, as Mao was browsing the catalog, all hell broke loose. The merchant bodyguards caught sight of the vacuum villains and weren't going to take any chances. Mao had some hope. He waited on the outskirts of the fracas, trying to see whether he could get in there and get some revenge on the bandits while they weren't looking. If nothing else, he could take some valuables off the bandit corpses after the bodyguards deal with them. So Mao got in there. Take that, stupid bandit! The bandit, deciding that it would be more important to show this gnarled meatball thing exactly where it stood in the world than to preserve his own life, turned around and swiftly tenderized the meatball. Mao was unconscious. The bandit soon joined him. One of the other bandits, perhaps not wanting to die alone, or perhaps just wanting to get a closer look at the odd meatball creature, crawled over to Mao and died alongside of him. The battle continued, but the Dyson Devils were outmatched, and it was starting to fizzle out. Maybe once it was over, the merchants would tend to Mao, who was now dying. After all, you can't sell to someone who's dead. Though I suppose you can just loot them. A pack animal made its way over to Mao. This doesn't look good. The merchants then suddenly congregate around Mao. They confirm that he's dying and that he's not actually a meatball. Disappointing. They shuffle away disinterestedly and take with them Mao's only hope of survival. Huh. Who knew his torso was that big? At least he struck a dramatic pose to die in. Surely the scholars one day will at least tell the story of this strange creature who was chased by the vacuum bandits and caused this minor skirmish between bandits and bodyguards. Maybe those aren't that common. At least he'll leave behind a good-looking corpse. Wait, what is that? And where are Mao's limbs going? Oh. A man has brought his bone dog to feast on Mao's corpse while he strips Mao of his precious rice bowl and his lousy stick. That bone dog sure is hungry. One can't help but notice that the dog left the other nearby corpses alone, lending credence to the popular meatball hypothesis. And indeed, it feasted on Mao until there was nothing left but the stupid stick. Mao, having already died hours ago, managed to get eaten alive, dying a second time on his very first day of his cursed life.